Before time exhaled its first breath, before silence had a name, an unseen presence spoke into the void and shattered the abyss. Let there be light. In that single utterance, a flame of brilliance tore through the silent darkness, weaving ribbons of dawn across the shapeless deep. Light poured in waves, warm, alive, relentless, chasing the night into corners it had claimed for eternity. In an instant, the formless void trembled and bowed, and where once there was only emptiness, there now stood a vibrant stage of beginnings. That primal glow was not bound by form or measure. It pulsed with promise, revealing the heartbeat of a universe yet unnamed. Day broke loose from silence, its radiance painting shadows along an infant world. Night, tender and reflective, gathered itself in gentle folds. And in that dance between radiance and rest, the first harmony was born. But light alone was not enough to shape the story. A second command restructured chaos. Let there be a vault between the waters to divide the waters from the waters. At those words, tumultuous waters above and below heaved and parted. An expanse unfolded, a sky of infinite azure suspended like a crystal dome above the unsettled seas. It stood as a testament that boundaries, far from constraining, could frame beauty. In the sweep of sky and sea, order began its quiet melody. Where waters once pressed against the earth, dry ground emerged, cautious yet determined. Hills rose, their contours etched by divine breath. Valleys yawed open, a silent invitation to root and grow. The land exhaled, and at that breath, seed husks split open in the fertile soil. Tender shoots sprang upward, blades of grass that shimmered like emerald flames, flowers that unfolded in colors unimagined. Trees took root, reaching skyward, their branches weaving silent hymns to the one who spoke them into being. And then the heavens were adorned. A third decree called forth luminaries to govern day and night. Let there be lights in the expanse of the sky to separate light from darkness, to mark seasons, days, and years. First, the sun blazed forth, anointing the world with its golden coronet, igniting dawn after dawn with triumphant descent. Then the moon emerged a silver sentinel, bathing the night in gentle glow, guiding wandering souls through velvet hours. Lastly, stars spilled across the firmament like celestial lanterns, each a promise flickering in the boundless dark. These lights were more than celestial ornaments. They became the pulse of time. They traced invisible circles of seasons, whispered the rhythm of harvest and rest. Generations would count their lives by the path of these luminaries, finding in their steady arc the constancy of a faithful creator. In their brilliance and in their phases, we learn the art of trust, knowing that just as night surrenders to dawn, our darkest moments yield to light. As the sixth dawn rose, creation reached its crescendo. Waters teemed with living wonders, fish of every hue glinting in the depths, creatures navigating uncharted currents. Birds carved arcs of freedom across the sky, their song a hymn to the Maker's glory. On land, beasts great and small emerged, each fashioned with exquisite intricacy. Lions with manes like woven flame, graceful deer whose steps seemed to respect the sacred hush of the woods. Then, poised at the pinnacle of this living tapestry, came humanity Earth's crowned worth, shaped from dust and breath. In that moment, God breathed into clay the spark of life, and the first human awoke to wonder. Eyes opened wide to the majesty unfurled in every direction. Heartbeats synchronized with the rhythm of creation itself. And in the very act of breathing, humanity found kinship with the divine. The seventh day dawned not in labor, but in completion. The Creator rested, not from weariness, but in the fullness of a work so profound that it transcended mere action. A sacred pause settled over the world, a moment of holy stillness and creation, newly birthed, basked in the glow of finished perfection. In that hush, mountains seemed to hold their breath. Forests whispered secrets in the breeze. Oceans glowed with the reflection of unseen glory. And so the narrative of beginnings stands, a testament that from speaking comes substance, from intention springs form, and from divine affection flows a cosmos alive with purpose. Each sunrise still echoes that ancient decree. Each starry night whispers the memory of light's first triumph. Even now, when shadows gather and the heart quails before uncertainty, we are invited to recall that same voice that shattered the void and spoke life into being. What weight do your words carry when they call forth hope? Or might you embrace boundaries as frames for beauty rather than walls of confinement? And when weariness beckons you to cease, will you pause and rest in the knowledge that completion itself is a gift? Let there be light. It was more than a command. It was an invitation into a covenant of hope. Light, in its brilliance and its acclaim, reminds us that even the darkest voids can be invaded by a single word of promise. So lift your eyes to dawn's first glow. Inhale the grandeur of sky and sea, the hush of resting land, and let your soul be stirred by the echo of that timeless voice calling you, into being, into rest, into radiant purpose.